Y'all probably didn't put deodorant this morning, but I'm just now thinking about it. Just now, I probably didn't put deodorant on this morning. You know, it doesn't matter because
that's a great way to start your day.
Yeah,
it gets your senses on alert.
I mean, the guests can't smell me. They can't feel me, so you know I'm here.
Oh, they feel you.
They feel me, but they can't
feel you.
They can't smell my aura.
They feel you. We here on Red and Black. I'm your host, Red Young. This is Anthony Obas.
Hi, beautiful people.
Y'all gonna learn a lot more about him. But first, let's talk about what you do. I'm sure that's a question that you get all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
It can be difficult to answer, but like, what's some of the things that you do?
All right. So some of the things that I do is basically I'm basically a middleman. In the entertainment realm, right? Between finding scouts, between finding, venues and bridging that between venues and artists, right? That's also between athletes and brands, like in the NIL space, right? So a lot of the times I'm kind of the middleman, right? So again, doing social media, doing event managing, emceeing, it's a lot, but I consider myself a multi-hyphenate creative. Sometimes I'm producing, right? So sometimes I'm producing. Sometimes I am, editing as well too.
Acting.
Acting if I need to. I choose not to act, but for some things I act if I need to.
Sometimes they just begging you.
And I'm just like, I just would like to just stay behind the camera these days. But I like being in front of the camera. It's fun. It's hella fun. But yeah, I mean, basically the goal is trying to enhance experience through social media, through event management, and through regular branding as well too. So that's kind of the overall scheme of what I do, right? Have I figured out exactly the lane? Hell no, because everybody, I could curse on this shit. I could definitely curse on this shit. Yeah, hell yeah.
We know you about to light it up.
Yeah, I'm about to, shoot. But motherfuckers already got me started, so here we go.
All right, so you're a people person. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
you bridging the gap with brands, athletes, entertainers, and then the venues and whatnot. So when you're working with people, what's the most or some of the most difficult things that you run into? Because people are people.
People are people. Oh man, so people are people. People are also prima donnas, right? So I've become a Madonna myself. Like I'd be like, yo, if the venue don't got no food for me, I ain't coming. Like gangsta, if there's no gangsta, if you ain't got no Reese's cups, I'm not coming. Like that's
Oh, that's in the email.
Yeah, we gotta have it. We gotta have it. Well, it's also the people that book me. They, here's the difference right now between me and where a lot of people are. They haven't really experienced a lot of the things that I've experienced, right? Like, I've been on tour for the last, 3 years. I mean, I spent like 2 weeks out on the road and understanding hospitality, right? Like New York City, in terms of the nightlife, ain't shit, right? I go, one time we went to Macon? I don't want to be like Raccoon from freaking Dragon Ball Z, but Macon, fucking Georgia. This venue basically had a hotel for us to stay in. They had food accommodation. I'm like living the best time of my life.
Southern hospitality.
That's Southern hospitality, bro. You get to New York, none of the venues have a green room, right? Like every time I need to go on a show, like I need to fucking take a shower. I need to take a shower in the middle of the set because I be sweating like a motherfucker, right? So a lot of artists, a lot of people that, do a lot of these things, they don't know these things because they haven't been exposed to it, right? New York, everybody say like New York is a mecca, but when you go outside of New York and you get exposed to certain things and you're like, damn, this is how I should be treated. You be like, you start acting like that. So when I say about prima donna, everybody thinks they know what they want, but in reality, they don't know what they need or what they want to get is because they haven't experienced a lot of those things. So I run into those things where people are like, yo, I need basically short story, like I need this thing, like they'll say I need this, this, and this, and you have to look at it and be like, the venue doesn't provide that for you. These people don't provide it. So what you got to do? You got to finesse it, right? Like if the venue is saying like, for example, right, like we need a venue that needs liquor, like, and the venue doesn't have a liquor license. So what you gonna do? You ain't gonna be like, yo, get a liquor license by tomorrow. Like, who they gonna talk to? Eric Adams to get the liquor license? Like, he's not gonna approve of that shit. So what you do? You sell some nutcrackers on the street. You know what I mean? Make a $5 on a nutcracker. So I tend to run into issues where it's like you can't totally meet the full needs of the people, and you kind of have to like find a middle ground, if that makes sense. Right?
Yeah, it reminds me of. You remember that show Scandal?
Oh, with what's her name? Olivia
Kerry Washington.
Yeah, and she was out here with her dad, and her dad was wilding too on the president. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do is they come in and they clean up the mess, or they're like the glue to these talented people or these really important people with these venues, these events.
Yeah.
And they just making sure that it all goes over smooth.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, that's my goal. My goal is to make sure it goes smooth, right? At the end of the day, it goes smooth. Now, has that always been the case? Hell to the fucking no. Shit has always been up and up and down and down. I'm like, fuck my life, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm just like, once you make it through, you're like, oh shit, that was pretty good. Like when I started doing my own shows, beginning of the stories, I was fucking stressed. Like, bro, I'll tell you this, I cursed out every fucking person I got on the stage. I say, yo, if you say one curse word on stage, I'm gonna have to throw you off, right? Like, I remember an artist told the people one time at my first show, he told the people, yo, shut up. I said, you told people to shut up? I said, oh, this is going to be chaotic. But he commanded the stage people did shut ups. And then after that, you know, the show kept going. He finessed it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
What's some of these lows like? You said it's ups and down lows. Like, what were some of those lows?
What's
like?
the low? The low is this, right?
Rock bottom.
Oh my God. The low is, you know, sometimes you have to, I'm just, like I said, I'm focused more on the music side of things. And then I can even talk on the athlete side of things, right? One low, every creative does this, but one is the money situation, right? You know, every creative goes through this, the net 30, net 45, net 60, all that other bullshit, right? And when money doesn't come in at the right time, you're like, how the fuck I'm gonna pay rent? How the fuck I'm gonna do this? So that's one low, right? Another low with a lot of these events is also the fact is like, sometimes you're just breaking even. Right, you're breaking even, or you're losing a shit ton of money, right? And it's not. You say to yourself sometimes, "Is why is me?" Right? Why is me? What is it? And you look at yourself, and there's a lot of like pressure on you, right? About like why did it happen? And that's kind of the lows. So I remember a couple times I've did events, and there was 0 people in the fucking crowd. Maybe one of them. Damn. I used to do my movie Monday night. Yeah, I can actually have some shit talking now today. I used to do my movie Monday nights at Please Tell Me last year, right?
That's why
yeah. Oh, this you get the full tea now tonight.
Okay.
So I did it there. It wasn't making a lot of money, but it you know, on a Monday, you have to build up these events, right? But we did our first or second show one time, and there was only one person there, right? And I'm just like, yo, like, it happens like that, right? It happens when there's one person. But then, you know, 2 other movie Mondays, the shit was packed on a Monday, right? People was watching Kill Bill and Dreamgirl, right? Like, you have to roll with the punches, right? Like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? There's a balance, right? Like,
are the people who are hiring you for these things, do you ever feel like their frustration with that, even though it's not your fault that not so many people showed up? Like, do you feel the pressure from them? I
do. I get the pressure, because a lot of the times there are like, let me be real with you, a lot of New York City venues are struggling from 2020 to 2025. A lot of NYC venues are struggling. They are basically breaking even at this point, right? They're trying to maximize profit. And with a lot of venues, a lot of bars, a lot of nightclubs, I'm being straight up with you, you have to start thinking differently, right? You have to start thinking differently. What I mean by that is, people are not trying to be at clubs until like 4 a.m. anymore, to like damn near 2 a.m. anymore, right? Like, people got bills to do, right? Number one. Number two, everybody's on this like health, lifestyle, you know, I'm trying to be clean, stay off the alcohol. Like, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but Gen Z, we're not spending money at the bars. No. People would rather buy like a $6 soju at your corner Chinatown store, use that as a pregame, get to the function, and don't spend. Facts. People would rather spend their time looking the part than spending the part, right? If that makes sense. So a lot of bars are really struggling. So that my job in this sense is like, yo, I'm trying to curate events where people are just gonna show up, where it's like low energy, not too much stakes, right? You don't gotta socialize with people, you can socialize with your group and try to bring out a little bit something different, right? Instead of the nightclub. That's why we have something like a bingo night, for example. That's why you have trivia night. That's why I did the movie Monday nights, right? Which was a chance for people to come through and just watch a movie, right? You take someone on a date, you watch a movie, you chill out, you vibe out. So, and it was themed like Women's History Month was Kill Bill and Dreamgirl, right? April was full of like, you know, with smokers vibes, so How High, and I think I did Rush Hour in that point, right? These are movies that like I love. Like, these are movies like I generally loved. February was I think Last Dragon, and I'm missing one. I'm so missing one right now. But I'm trying to create activations where people could just come out and just enjoy it, and just, you know, just sit there, have a date, and just chill. Like, for movie enthusiasts, right? Yeah. And a lot of venues are just struggling because, again, people are not spending money. Like, people are just not. So you have to figure out a way to get them through the door. But also the fact that if people are not spending money, you got to figure out a way for them to make content for that your venue to be popping. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is the situation. Like, you got to get people in the door some way, somehow, right? As someone that owns a venue, whatever. If they're making content, if they're the ones that's looking here, if they're the ones that's bringing 7, 8 heads, bro, I would rather have a packed venue than a venue that's only like five people. Yeah, they're spending money, but no one's gonna come to a venue with only 5 people when the cap is like 100 people. Come on now. Like,
a lot of it is the look, right? How it appears.
It's the look, but also like, what are you attracting though, right? Like, what is your venue attract? Like, a lot of people don't realize. Shout outs to my boy Zane. Like, a lot of architecture really does matter within a venue, right? And how it's aesthetically thing. And I got to give a shout out to my people at Motel No-Tel, right? Because it's a very much 70s disco like vibe, right? Like, people go there for that nostalgic feel, and then the crowd that's also they get that feeling as well too. So like the curation, it's around that theme, if that makes sense. Like, let me tell you another venue that's like, it's very much around theme, like Fly Fish Club, right? Gary V's venue down in downtown, right? You pull up there, it's very membership only type of aesthetic. It's a membership only club, right? So like, it has very much Dumbo Soul House vibes. And basically the type of people that it attracts is people that are just trying to lay back, grab a drink, and listen to like disco, house, all that other type of function. Nice. It's super dope. You gotta pull up. We're gonna do some stuff down there in November. But I do feel the pressure from these people. I definitely do. But however, though, at the end of the day, like, whether there's multiple other venues that I can go to, right? I can put this idea into another venue, and it'll make them a shit ton of people, right? It'll make them a shit ton of money. It could also be a downfall for them, right? Like, you gotta test. At this point, if you're someone that owns a venue, that's managing, you gotta be able to start you gotta throw darts in the wall, because venues are just losing money. They're just losing right now.
So there's a few things I'm really interested in talking about, because you are on the front lines of this. So 2020 is the year that so much changed, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
And when it comes to the venues and whatnot, that changed a lot. Like, things have gone up in price, but mostly it's the people who have changed.
Yes.
You said that people go to these bars and these events so that they don't have to socialize. And I find that so interesting, because, before, in the beginning times or whatever, people will go to a bar to meet people, to socialize.
Yeah.
But now you go to events and these experiences to not socialize while you're around other people.
Right.
What have you noticed in those changes, and what exactly is it that you think people want from these events?
People want I call it low energy, high pulse, right? Which is low maintenance, high pulse. Like, it's like literally what I mean. Trying to be on a high energy constantly is not what people are trying to do, right? Like, people are generally like, their social battery is not there like it used to be. Like, people are more focused on like, how am I trying to pay rent, all the other stuff, right? That's why I host a lot, because my job is to break that atmosphere and us to like create community, if that makes sense. So that's why you'll have like a bingo or like an icebreaker to get people like moving and grooving, right? Because some people are not drinkers, some people are just socially awkward. We've become actually more socially awkward since the pandemic, because people don't know.
No doubt.
We've become, as a society, we've become more socially awkward since the pandemic. It's freaking wild to me, right? So in these spaces, we have to be able to maneuver and basically see, and this is why I always say, like, at events, you need somebody that's a social butterfly that can capture the room and then break the ice where everybody's in this kind of kumbaya type of vibe community, right? It's centered around you, right? That's one of the things I've noticed. The second thing I've noticed was that in these spaces, no one is looking to bridge the gap around other people, right? Because it doesn't look cool. Right, it doesn't look cool. It doesn't look cool to network with people, which is wild, right? Like, it doesn't look cool to network with people. Or if you already have your network, it's like, my network is cool, I don't need to expand your network. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird, right? You should always try something new and then try something different, right? In these spaces. So I started to notice that a lot with these spaces is that, people come with who they come with, right? But how can you break the ice? How can you create laughters? How can you create these moments, right? Where people are like, yo, give them the shots, right? Rather than like, I don't need the shots. We've been drinking shots all day. Give them the shots. Now they're talking music. Now they're bonding. And then I'm like, all right, I did my job. Now I can go home, right? At this point, right? Because I'm like, I'm tired.
You created that spark.
You created that spark. We are not creating sparks for people to like, yo, let's talk, let's network, let's do this, right? Because we're not creating that sparks anymore, right? People are just, again, this idea of like, the looks.
The look, bro.
It's the look. And I'm just like, you know, and again, there are a lot of curators, and again, that I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever, that's been getting shitted on because it looks great, it looks packed, but is it really creating that moment where people feel fulfilled? And I think that's another thing that everybody's looking for, fulfillment, and they're looking for some type of fulfillment.
Yeah. I think people want that satisfaction, like, oh, I spent my time and my money wisely, but how do you think people get fulfillment? Because I feel like fulfillment is a deep thing, almost like a spiritual thing. Like, I went out and I feel socially nourished or spiritually renewed, whatever it is. How do you think people get that?
So I think you got to look at Maslow's hierarchy. A lot of people don't know about Maslow's hierarchy, which is like, it talks about like the food, the nature, and it's like the needs of humans, right? Always, everybody has this need of having this feel of community, right? Of like, I need to be a part of something, and I use that as a way to like get people to pull up to certain things, right? If you've been that kid in high school or college, or even like, you know, that never really had that type of thing, like kind of community based, or you never was that social person, or you never was in a social group, I use that to my advantage to get you where I need to get you. So like, for example, like I do these like Wizard Fest theme parties, right? You know what I mean? I had to say that because I had to switch it just in case, you know, Universal, Warner Bros. The trademark and want to get it. So yeah, Wizard Fest, that's what we're going to do. Wizard Fest is a Harry Potter theme. It's a Harry Potter theme mixed with like Fantastic Beasts. It's basically all the wizards in like one festival, if that makes sense. These people would never be dressed up in high school as Gandalf or fucking Thorin. Like, they would never do, because I would cut ass on them, right? I would cut ass on these people. But I was one of those kids. You tell me I didn't watch Lord of the Rings. I used to play that shit on fucking PS2. The Towers of Rings, I used to play that motherfucking shit all the fucking time, right? But it's understanding that these people want a space for them to be weird, for them to be themselves, right? Like, and I want to be that person to create those type of things, right? Like, no, again, these people don't go to clubs. They don't go to clubs, right? They stay home, read a book, probably light a candle.
Bro, Gen Z is like the oldest, yet they're the youngest.
They're the youngest, yo.
They're like these old heads with like, oh, I'm gonna just stay home tonight. I'm gonna cuddle up with my cat. I'm gonna watch a movie on the couch.
Like, and then you look at, you know, a gen up, and everybody like, yo, we still at the club. Like, and one of the things that's been the biggest problem with everybody is like, this is with both generations, is like, I don't want to be at a club with, you know, people that are 30, like 35 plus. But then on the other hand, the 35-year-olds is, I don't want to be in a club with a bunch of YNs. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's this disconnect between generations of what looks like fun.
Dead ass. Like, and it's so weird because we in the middle of the generation.
Yeah, like, 100%.
You're 98, right?
Yeah, 98, baby.
I'm 97. We're zillennials. So it's like, everybody older than us is millennial, and we grew up around them. Yeah. But everybody younger is Gen Z, which like, I feel more like Gen Z. Like, I'm the first year of Gen Z. I feel more Gen Z. Most of my friends are Gen Z.
Right.
But like you said, they're not really active as much. The millennials are the ones who still having these events, like these parties and all that. But I feel mad young around. I'm like, oh damn, y'all don't really
show me no love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's also, you got to figure out a way to bridge that gap, because again, the younger cats is like, yo, I'm not spending money at the spot, because I could easily be, you know, at this, you know, DIY venue, or I could just be outside, or like, here we go. Like, again, like, they would be like, yo, let's go hiking. You know what I mean? Or like, again, there's no shade to you. I'm just saying, like, there's no shade. I'm hoping everybody knows this is no shade to Red. But people would be like, yo, like, there's this brand called Peak and something, and they do like run clubs. Like, when the fuck did run clubs become a fucking big thing?
That shit
like,
used to be the punishment.
That shit used to be the punishment. Suicides and everything. All these people that are joining run clubs, you know why they're joining run clubs? Not because they want to run. They want to join a run club because generally they want somebody to socialize with, because they lost it 2 years ago. They lost it during COVID. So they're looking for anything that looks cute, and it gives us a chance to socialize. That's what it is. Again, so back to the original thing, everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants that feeling of belonging to a community, right? And for me, I'm like, I don't need a community because I know my people. You get what I'm saying?
And you creating communities.
And I'm creating community. And like, as someone that's creating a lot of communities, I'm just like, yo, like, I have my community. Not to say like I'm not a part of the community, but I'm creating, my job is to create the space for y'all, right? I'll check in on y'all, but I don't have to be in the community. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. I think it's so interesting too that you were talking about it's not cool to bridge that gap. And I think people want the belonging, but needing that belonging and showing that vulnerability is really not cool.
Yeah, exactly. Which is so weird. I don't know why people just don't be vulnerable and just like, yo, I fuck with this.
Even
like,
dancing and even like, you know.
Yo, don't get me started with that shit, right? Like, let me be real with y'all. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with people not dancing at the function, right?
Yo.
Like, I go to the function, everybody's posted, everybody's sitting down. Like, yo, if you sit down for 40 hours a week, you know that what it does to your ass muscles. You know what that shit does to it? It fucks you up. You know what I mean?
Like, you like aging at a rapid pace.
Like, people be like this on the thing, like your back be killing you, all this other shit. You gotta get up and move that body. You gotta move. Like, yo, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, people be like, yeah, I don't like dancing. Da, da, da. I'm like, yo, you gotta at least do a two-step,
they
1-2 step.
Mess up the outfit.
It's gonna mess up the outfit. I'm like, yo, like, no one's saying you gotta have a drink in your hand. Like, yo, we all get drinks spilled on us, but like, have fun. Be in it. Like, again, it doesn't, like, for them, it doesn't look cool to be involved with the space, but it looks cool because it's all about me. It's all about us, right? And that's what I think it's weird. Like, people want to be in a part of the community so that they could say, like, we're in part of the community, but it's also the sense to say, like, oh, it's us. We the lit ones in the thing. And I'm like, I don't care if you lit or not in the function.
Nobody even knows
Nobody even, like...
And even if they did, like, what is even being famous? Like, let's say, like, it's an influencer or somebody who got a little clout or whatever. It's like, what? Who cares? Nobody cares even about A-list celebrities. It's like, you could be in a club and it's like, okay. Nobody cares no more.
Nobody
it's about
cares.
Like your energy.
Energy, what you put up to the space, right?
Yeah.
What you put up to the space. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't go out. People be like, yo, you be outside. I really don't go outside like that. I really don't go out like that. Like,
you're just active though.
I'm just active. There's a difference between being outside and being active, right? Like, I'm not outside when I'm going to everybody's events. I will not do that. No, I used to do that, not anymore. Because the reasons why is like, yo, like, pull up to your event. And we could talk about group economy, whatever, all the other different shits. But I pull up to the event and I'm like, I don't feel anything. I'm not moved. I'm not inspired by it. Like, I'm not. And again, there's also me being someone that's involved in the space, but also the fact, like, I'm not moved by it. I'm not inspired by it. That's why sometimes I like the things that I do outside of like bingo nights or like fucking like nightlife and shit. I go to art museums. Like, people don't realize I hang out with a bunch of artists and painters. I go to like the Whitney Museum on a Friday, chill, look at some art, you know, drink my little old fashioned and I call it a day, right? Like, I'll go to like a book club meeting, you know what I mean? Like, there's this platform called The Music Nerd, shout outs to them as well too, but they just gather up in Brooklyn, exchange vinyls, exchange, you know, CDs, and we talk about music.
That's
and
tough.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be like, you know, I go to film. I go, I don't need to do that, bro. Like, I'm already lit doing the things that I'm doing. Why do I need to pull up to a function and show that, oh, we the littest? If you know I'm lit, look at my Instagram. You know we lit. And if you don't know, if you don't think that is, then pull up to the function. Pull up to the function. I'll extend the invite to everybody. Pull up to the function. Pull up to the function. Pull up to the function. Gangsta.
Obas has spoken.
Pull up to the function. Word. Dead ass.
I also have noticed this trend of trying to be cool and trying to project this look on the streets in New York. Yeah. Everybody is like competing. It's almost like it's like a Instagram in person or like a dating app on the sidewalk.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What you notice about that? Because there's been a quick change.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this straight up. Yo, New York, we're losing culture right now. New York is losing culture. We have a lot of people that are in New York that thinks they know what New York is. We're losing culture. And everybody's like, from fashion to experience we're losing a lot in New York. With a part of it has to do with people are coming into New York and doing what the fuck they want to do. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because the thing is, you know, I'm telling you right now, these people don't know about what a path mark look like. They don't know what the fuck a path mark look like. You tell them what the path mark, they don't know what the fuck a path mark
Under the Manhattan Bridge.
Under the Manhattan Bridge, right? These people don't know what that looks like in New York. We're losing that culture. So now you have this disconnect between what New Yorkers really want and what, you know, these people that are coming in from a fashion standpoint, right? Like, New York is like, you know, shout out to Cameron for making pink look good. Like I don't see people rocking pink on the streets like they used to, like gangster, like, you know, like like baggy suits, right? Like we, you know, like the era of like baggy suits, like no
the 03
NBA drafts, like bro, the amount of 2000s themes, I'm like, I'm done with that type of shit. Like we need to be like, even from a fashion standpoint, I haven't been appealed about any fashion.
Nothing, bro.
Nothing. Fashion, music. Bro, you're losing that New York culture now because the people, like, because we've allowed people to come to New York and say, I'm gonna do this. Nah, bro, like the people that are really in New Yorkers, we grind for our stuff. It's become very harder now to get to the next level because everybody's coming in, whether it be doing events, whether it's owning a new business, whether it's all that stuff. It's a lot now. It's a huge lot. That's why I said to myself, you know what, New York, you got it.
Facts.
You got it. I'll go to my other places. Bro. I'll go to Philly. Yo, I'm in Philly almost every month now. Like turned up. There's mad things open up in Philly. I'll be real with you, yo. The DC scene.
I bet.
Yo, the DC scene be turned.
That shit be lit, bro.
That shit be lit, bro. DC
house parties.
DC house parties. Like, yo, I went to Detroit earlier this year, yo. I said, yo, what the fuck is popping out of Detroit?
Yo,
crazy, bro. I only went there for a freaking day, and it was like, yo, I could come back here again. I felt addicted. I'm like,
that's tough
because these people are there, and they're the culture. So they're doing something. They're moving. You know, they're shaking and baking, right? So again, like we need, as New Yorkers, we have to figure out a way to bring back our culture, bring back that funk, bring back that separation where you know the difference. Again, this idea of like, it looks good, but is that what New York really wants?
Is it culture? Like culture, think about like bacteria. When they say like a bacteria culture, you gotta let that shit sit in the petri dish for mad long. It builds up.
Yeah,
and then over time it becomes something. You can't just immediately like, oh, okay, we did the experiment, now it's done. People come in here too much and they take and they don't contribute.
Oh, it's huge.
And what they contribute is like, it's half-assed. It's like, you didn't even finish this. You had an idea and you had some money and you put it towards that. You ain't work hard. And let's be real, most of these people are from a place that doesn't have culture itself. Like the Midwest, or, you know, wherever they're from. It's like, bro, you gotta have some type of edge or individuality. Everybody is so unique, yet they're not.
Yeah, because everybody comes to New York for the dream. But again, it's a fault on us for not basically like, yo, this ain't happening. And I'm calling out all the different event curators here in New York. I'm calling out all the different, you know, artists. We gotta step our game up, yo. What
do we do as New Yorkers, as these sort of gatekeepers for culture? How do we push it forward without punching them down?
Yo, we gotta rally up. You get what I'm saying? Like, we gotta, like, I want, you know, start, you know, moving, like, I want, like, yo, like, shoot, like, I've seen, we gotta do, it's gotta be a rally up type of thing. Like, I want, like, New York has been, yo, bring back in New York. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, let's think about it from an event curator perspective. Why don't no one ever play like a calm 2000s New York theme party? Bro, Cameron, Jim Jones, who else do we got? A Max B of the world. Like everything 2000. Early Fresh Montana. Like you might even throw, who else you might throw in? Like a Fat Joe. Like you're pulling everybody be throwing these 2000s party, but you're not, like, what about a New York 2000s theme party? Where you have, but I'm not only just from a music standpoint, but also from a fashion standpoint, where you have like old vintage magazines like the Ebony's or the Jet magazines, where you have like, oh my God, or like the Sports Illustrated's in the spot. Now people are looking through those. You have like, you know, TVs that have like, you know, bootleg DVDs from your it's that nostalgic, again, people want that nostalgic feel, like curate a nostalgic feel. That's another way to say, yo, y'all been creating these Y2K parties, but have you been creating a Y2K party that's tailored towards New Yorkers?
Yeah.
That got people from the stoop to come down. I just went to see, you know, shout outs to Onyx, you know, that big hip hop group, but they just did a whole they're doing a documentary on the tunnel, which is right there on 20th. Come on, bro.
And they just made the tunnel into it's like, I don't know if it's apartments or I don't know what it is, but it's not the tunnel.
But that energy needs to be brought back, if that makes sense. And I'm looking at like how other things was done back then to really bring back that New York energy back. So that's you know, when you talk about this fashion aspect, when you talk about, you know, again, I'm more educated. I'm not really that educated on fashion as well, but like if we talk about nightlife, if we talk about like media and all this other stuff, we gotta bring back that funk. We gotta bring back that juice, that grit.
I really do think we get that back by bridging these gaps with each other. I think that's what culture also is like these crossovers of different people and different cultures. That's what New York is supposed to be, is the melting pot, right? But it's less that than ever.
It's God.
More of like, you gonna be in this section, I'm gonna be over here, and we gonna watch you from a distance. Yeah, if you try and cross over, we not fucking.
But it's also the fact, like, think about the situations like within. Like, it kills me all the time where I'm just like, yo, like the amount of people that go downtown to Brooklyn to party, and nobody really parties uptown in the Bronx is crazy. Like, I'm just like, yo, like I like partying uptown. Like, even the like. Again, there's other issues that's happening uptown because at these functions, there's again a lot of old heads and the ratio is kind of crazy. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the ratio is crazy. But like, I like going uptown and having a good time. Like, I love having a good time in Harlem, in the Bronx, whatever.
It's a very different feeling.
It's a very different feeling. But why is it that the need to feel that we have to go downtown or Brooklyn to have a good time? Like, whatever happened to, like, you know, people going uptown? Like, I be going to the strip of Broadway. I be working from Fort Washington Public House all the way down to Vail Public House. Shoot, if I really want to get a freaking crazy night, I'll go all the way to 242nd Street, last stop, and we would bar hop all the way down to like Dykeman, Pregame, Republica. Yo, we get crazy. We'll get crazy, and you know, but we're missing that. And I think that not say we're missing that, but we're missing the idea of just rallying up as New Yorkers from, you know, from all aspects of things, because we're losing the taste. We're losing the taste of who we are each and every day. So yeah. And
then further than that, I mean, we literally can't even be here a lot of the time. Like, we either can't afford to stay in the city, or like you said, like people rather just stay home and save their money. It's like, I'm not gonna spend $22 on a drink. I got that one drink, now I want another one. What? Now my night is turning into $200?
Yeah, now my night just in $200. Like, it's crazy. And again, finding that price point. Like, again, how I finesse certain things. Yo, my pregame is always at Jimmy's. People don't know about Jimmy's, but Jimmy's is a fire spot on 44th and Times Square. That black owned business has been around since what, the 60s, 70s?
Jimmy's Corners.
Jimmy's Corners, yeah. Facts. What? Nobody knows about Jimmy's Corners.
That's the spot.
That's the spot. You know. If you know, you know. You go there, you get yourself some $6 drinks, boom. See, people don't know how to move. But nobody like budgeting. Like, if I know I'm gonna go out, my budget is $30. So I'm gonna go now, yo, pregame at Jimmy's. Okay, boom. What's the next function? All right, bro. Like, we there. Like, we there. We might get like an ice cup. You know what I mean? Like an ice cup. Well, you know how
a
cup of ice. You already know what the cup of ice is gonna do for us. Get to the other function, and then we make our moves to other places. You know, like Prohibition down and LES is a good spot. Apartment 5 is a dope spot. Like I said, I'm not even an LES type of fan, but like, yo, I love rooftops. I ain't gonna lie to you. Rooftops
They're nice.
I like being on rooftops. Like, I'll go to, you know, Mr. Purple.
I'll
go to Mr. Purple rooftop. I'll go to freaking Althena's Hideaway. I'll go to freaking, you know, Timeout Market for the vibe. Like, I definitely do. Like, and again, like, the thing is, people are not also trying to pay for admissions to be in the spot. So I'll be honest, like, people, like, I mean, one of my favorite platforms right now is Soul in the Horn. So I got to give them a shout out, which is a black house, you know, vibration. Shout outs to Natasha Diggs for having that spot, that spaces.
What's that?
This is like 99 Scott Street. They be doing that. They do it at Timeout Market too, as a little bit. But basically, like, my boy, I'm shouting out mad people right now. But Pie Show as well too. It's like a live DJ blend with like instrumentation, and it's like, yo, like it feels like a Detroit Motown disco vibe on some, yo, it's funky as hell. Like, you know, back then, you know, you was only paying like $15-$20. Now their price got up because they're bringing like Grandmaster Flex in the building. They're bringing in like crazy ass like headliners. Now they gotta charge the $45 to get in. Now for some people, they're gonna be like, yo, I'm not paying $45, but you gotta see how they came up. Like, they came up and just shot it up. Like, not shot it up like that, all right? We're not violence, but Look at something like in Harlem, like Soapbox, and it's basically stoop performances on the block, block party. Like, yo, they filled up that block party on Juneteenth, right? They had ASAP Ferg there, and they had somebody tap dancing, and they had a live band right up on the stoop. Everybody was generating power for that whole block party, bro. You had people from Brooklyn trying to pull. That's the first time I seen people from Brooklyn pull up to Harlem, because that was a function. And I'm like, bro, Harlem has more functions than we have more functions, but y'all just don't want to come out Brooklyn. Right, because again, aesthetically and looks, like because they're lit, I want to make sure that I'm lit with that function and I look lit. You know what I mean? People want to be part of movements that look good, but they never want to be a part of the movements where they say, let me take a risk on this movement and say, yo, this might actually pop off.
People don't look for potential. They look for guaranteed success, or they kind of wait at the finish line to see who the winners are or where everybody else is gathering at. But it's like, can't you get a sense of what's real? And I guess they can't.
They can't. No. And that's where I separate myself from other people, because I can tell, you know, what's real, what's not, what's going places. And also, like, you got to give it a chance. You got to give it a chance. How long do you give a chance? That's up to you. Like my look in terms of turnaround, you got like 6 months to a year, and then after that your contract is up. You done. You done. Like, that's with anything. You got a year with me, and then after that, you gotta go. You gotta go. Am I trying to re-up the contract? I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Talk to my agent.
Come back to training.
Come back to training camp. Gangster. We gonna see. We ain't picking you up today. You go play for some other team. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. New York and this shit show.
Yeah, that's the best way I think you could describe it. As like, there's a loss of identity, people coming here without any goals in mind. It's like, what are you here for? Like, oh, I'm here because my job is here. It's like, well, what you trying to do with that job? Oh, just make some money. It's like, well, don't you spend most of your money on your rent and going out and on your gym membership and then taxes and then whatever else you have left? So you have no money. You come here. What you gonna find somebody on a dating app? You gonna take them seriously, and you gonna move back to where you came from. Like, what were you really trying to do in New York? Is my point.
They was trying to accomplish a dream that they thought they had.
It's all a dream, but it's not even clear what that dream is.
No, and we're losing that. A lot of people don't. Like I said, we're losing a lot. Everybody has a dream, but we don't look at reality sometimes. Reality has a way of slapping you in the face. Yeah. And, you know, like, you have to get real with yourself and say, yo, like, if you came here, and again, no shade to anybody that's chasing, like, acting or modeling. I'm no shade to anybody. But what I'm saying is, like, if you came to New York to model and act, it's a hard market to come out there. Here in LA, it's hard for models and actors. You know what I mean? Like, actors and actresses. It's very, very hard. Like, people be coming here without comp cards. I'm like, how the hell you come up without comp cards? And you're like, yo, I'm trying to get on this. Like, you gotta bust your ass. You gotta be on backstage.com, like, going for everything. You gotta be a UGC content creator. You gotta, like, it's tough.
Yeah, it's not like it was back in the day, like, oh, I'm gonna just move to New York and rent a little room and then I'm gonna just try and make it. Like, nah, bro. Like, you're not gonna survive.
And you know what most of them do? They're bartenders. You know what they other do? They host and hostess. Like, it's tough, bro. It's a really
And then the dream gets lost because it's like, it's so expensive here, and if you don't have a clear idea of what you're trying to do, if you don't have the why, you're not gonna have a how.
No.
So you just kind of come here and take up space. Unfortunately, that's what it really seems like.
I mean, we're on an island, so we're on an island full of 8 million people, something like that, like, or Brooklyn. Like, it's tough. Like, it's tough. Like, even me personally, I'm thinking personally to I've been figuring out for years, like, how do I move out? Like, where do I move out to?
Like, where do you even go? I don't want to be here like that.
But that's why I really don't be in the city like that. All my friends could generally say, like, I don't be in the city. Like, every other week, like you're having the hike and drink on the 23rd. Like, I'm literally staying in the city because I've been missing out on so much different things. Like, I'm a little disconnected.
So you gonna be there?
What, just the hike and joint? I gotta make it to the hike and joint. I really do, because I love going on hikes and just chilling and shit. But I gotta make it out there. And the next day, I gotta drive to St. Bonaventure for my cousin because he's going to college. You know, I'm trying to be a good cousin here. But I say this to say is, like, I'm also off of New York energy because I know that there's other places that is beyond New York. And as you know, from a New Yorker, I thought New Yorker was the dream and the reality. Hell to the fucking no. Yo, bro, when you spend 2 months in Asia, when you spend about 7 months in London, you see how these other countries move. You say to yourself, yo, what the fuck am I really doing?
What makes you see such a difference in these places? I'm sure Asia's very different, but like somewhere like London, I feel like they're very similar.
Very similar style, but it's also like there's other things I think they value. I think it's like London and New York is like mirror to mirror. So the reason why I like London is because it's like, yo, like they're like, I'm just again comparing the night scene, like, yo, I don't even see people in New York do open format like that, where people are just generally like, yo, I just came because I just want to listen to music and dance. You have to go to specific. Oh, if it's dance hall, I'm not going. What the fuck you mean? Like you're not going? Like, yo, I'll be in Dykeman. I don't listen to that shit. Like I'm Haitian as a motherfucker. Like you know what I mean? Like but I'll be at Salsa con Fuego though. I'll get a table. Like people again, this curiosity to just be in places that you don't know. It's like again, people were like, yo, I would rather go to places that I'm comfortable with and I'm cool. When in London, yo, we was in like, I remember we was in London and we was like, yo, I've never been to Peckham. We in Hackney. Like, and we're just talking to the people and they have this whole tribal feel in London where it's just like, yo, you here? Like it's us now. You know what I mean? Like shout outs to my Ori community but they do an open mic every 2 weeks. And on a Monday, and they get 250 people there, yo, with backup vocals.
Open mic music or?
Open mic music, jam, and everything, yo. You can get up there, just 250 people on a Monday.
That's crazy.
On a Monday, and everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's showing love. Why? Like, come on. Like, if that feeling is not something to tell you, yo, I really want to be a part of it. I want to be here every day. Then there's something that's different, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like that with anything in New York. Like, I want to be here all the time.
I be honest, I don't get that feeling like I want to be here in New York all the time. I don't. Like, there's no, like...
Where could you see yourself being, if not in New York?
If I could move, if given today, if I had to choose 3 locations to move in at a heartbeat, it would be London, definitely. I would definitely move to Thailand in a heartbeat.
Damn.
And definitely... shoot, if it's not New York, I gotta stay somewhere in US. I'd be real with you, like if I had the money, I wouldn't do DC. DC just gets a little chaotic.
Yes, yeah.
DC gets a little chaotic. To be honest with you, there's nothing against, I don't like Drake at all, but I'd move to Toronto. But Toronto's cold is crazy though.
Yeah.
Toronto's cold is crazy. But I ain't gonna lie, like London, Thailand, what other spots is else? Like those are the locations I would definitely move out to.
A lot of people in the U.S. moved to like Portugal. That was a big thing for a while.
Yeah.
Like Mexico City.
Yeah, I want to go visit Mexico City. I've yet to visit South America.
I went. It's just so big that it's like I didn't get to see like most
everything.
Of it. Food is crazy, and that's what a lot of people say. It's cheap food and it's good food.
Yeah.
There's a crazy nightlife scene there. It's like more Americans there now than even Mexicans.
Shit, I want to try it out. Fuck it. Like I'm just on this quest to just travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
bro.
I like traveling. I ain't gonna lie. I like meeting new people. Even though sometimes there's language barriers. I'll be like, "Cómo estás, tú?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm getting there." Like I remember when I spent 2 months in Thailand and I didn't know a lick of like the language, and I'm just like, "Hey, beautiful people." Like I was moving dolo and I'm just like, hey.
They probably loving you over there.
It was great though. It was great times. It was some weird, interesting times, but it was good times. Definitely some good times.
What are the weird times?
Oh my God. I was walking through this neighborhood. Funny, this is crazy. It's crazy. There was this family and they all kept looking at me and I'm like, oh, so they said some crazy stuff and it's like, and they was laughing. I'm like, oh hell no. I stuck a middle finger. I'm like, yeah, I did one of these at them, but I'm like, but the ignorance for me to do that is kind of wild because it's like, I don't know if they was talking shit or they were just generally like laughing about something, but they dead looked at me and laughed. So generally I went back and stuck the middle finger. I laughed back too because I didn't know what but I knew they was talking shit. Like, come on, like I'm from New York. I know when people are talking shit in their own language. I speak 2 different languages. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know you're talking shit.
What's the other language you speak?
Creole and French. I'm Haitian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Sabase.
Mabule, Kumuyela. There you go. But those are the places I would live in a heartbeat though. Definitely.
Okay, that's good to know that you have places. There's not a place that I could really name where I'm like, I would feel comfortable there. Because I'm just picky, bro. As a New Yorker, I go places, I'm just like, this is not really doing it for me. I could visit here, but
I can't really live. It's a different story. Like because I'm also thinking about accessibility in terms of location. New York City is a very accessible place to go to other places in the world. Airports, trains, and everything like that. The reason why I say London is because I can go 8 hours. I can go 8 hours west and I'm still in New York. I can go 8 hours east and I'm in Asia. You get what I'm saying? That's why London is a very accessible place for me to live. To go from New York to Asia, bro, that's like a 16-hour flight, bro. Like that's a tough flight. You know what I mean? Like I did it direct and it was cool. Like I loved it. Like, you know what I mean? I would go, like I don't do stops in my flight. We got to get there and get there. I don't do that shit. However, though, there are some things that I would be like, I'd rather this flight be down half.
What? Like what?
Like, I mean, like when I flew from Hong Kong, great experience, dope experience, got some champagne. I was having a good time. But like, yo, you just like, I just need to get down. I need to feel like the land or something. I'm in the air. And like, I'll be honest with you, like, I used to be super scared of flights. Like, I mean, I seen snakes in the plane and I say, yo, fuck this. And then I see that movie called, was it Nonstop or Non-Flight with the dude that's from Taken. I was like, yo, I'm not dealing with these flights.
You see Denzel flying the plane upside down.
Oh, facts. When Denzel was the pilot and he was drunk and I was like, yo, we're not doing this. No. So doing it for 16 hours, yo, I was like, nah. And you get a little bored too, but I'll be honest with you, I love flying because I get to watch all my movies at that time. So.
I just be so focused because you don't get Wi-Fi, or at least I don't know how to get the Wi-Fi, but I just be doing nothing for so long. I'm just like, all right, this is kind of peaceful.
I love that. I love that though, because I'm like, I get to watch my movie.
You can do all your photos,
I can do my photos, deleting. Yo, I'm drinking my red wine. I'm like, yo, throw another red wine in there. I'm good. Let me tell you something. Flying international is definitely the best experience than flying domestic. The fact that people don't give you, like, flying from here to LA, that's why I don't fly to LA like that, because it's like, if I'm going to fly 6 hours to the West Coast and you're not gonna give me no food, it's crazy. But if I can fly from here to London, again, I'm not saying I like airport food. That is not what I'm saying. I don't like airport food. But it's like, treat me like hospitality. That's all I'm saying.
It's the principle.
It's the principle.
It's principality.
It's the principality in this shit. Like, do better. Do better, Spirit. I don't fly Spirit or Frontier. Don't ever put me on a flight like that. Hell no. American Airlines, you're dirty too. I don't like you either. Hey, I'm a Delta baby, so I fly Delta. I'll do United too from time to time. So.
We gotta get them Delta and United sponsors on here.
Yo, can you holla at a brother, yo? I'm a lifestyle Delta baby. Come on. But yeah, no, that's me though. That's the fun and shits of all my problems and shit.
Oh, that's just a small part of you, bro.
Yeah, man.
You got so much else. Let's talk a little bit about your origins and whatnot, so everybody knows at this point you're from New York.
Yeah.
Let's do your New York journey. I always want to know the schools that people went to.
Yeah.
And where you grew up, like in the boroughs, and then how you got here.
Yeah. Okay. So boom, grew up in Harlem. Then I went to a pre-K called Charma. That was fun times. Then K through 8, I went to St. Charles. After that, I met you at Xavier, 9 through 12, and then I went to Syracuse. I went to Syracuse for 4 years. Am I getting a master's degree? A company has to pay for it. That's the type of vibe we're on right now. Like, you gotta match 75% of that. Like, I'm not getting no master's degree. I can't do that. You know, I don't know what part do I start. Again, I'm just not the song. I'm just a kid. I'm an adult and I'm still do kiddish shit. I was. You know, I was book smart, not the street smartest kid. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, people be like, which block you gonna turn? I'm like, I'm just gonna turn a block. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna turn a block, you know? But it's also the fact, like, I'm a people's person. Like, I've been that person since a kid. Still, crazy enough, I'm still in connections with a lot of the people that I grew up with, which is kind of funny because at the end of the day, we end up meeting again, some way, sometime in a lifetime. You can't, like, this is something I've always tried to do, but you can't run from your past. You can't run from your past because your past made you your present. I guess I was good at speaking, so I did public speaking in middle school. I played football in middle school. I was okay. I wasn't super talented, but I worked damn near hard. You know what I'm saying? Went to Xavier, spent 4 years.
Kept us entertained in the locker room.
Oh my God, bro, dog. Yo, bus. I was into, I'm a comedian, yo. The amount of shit that, the amount of jokes we could have, motherfucker should have recorded that shit all the time, yo. I was jokes. I'm still the same dude, though. I haven't changed a bit because, like, I'm like, yo, even in your dark times, you got to learn how to have a laugh. You know what I mean? And one thing, that's what I learned a lot, which was like having fun in the hardships of things.
Oh, right? There was hardship.
There was hardship.
Those years, bro.
Yo, people don't realize I was going through some shit. Like, I didn't have like 6 months, maybe 6 months to a year where I have gas in my apartment. You know what I mean? Like, again, family, first gen, like, you know what I mean? Like, we was in a house and, your cousin from Haiti comes in and they staying in for like it's every Caribbean.
Feet in your face,
got feet. Like, I'm like, yo, come on, dog. You ain't got no hot water. You ain't got no heat. Like, again, like we've been through all of it. But through those times, you've learned to, like, get a little skin under you. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, yo, at an early age, I was just like, yo, I want to see the world. Like, everybody would be like, yo, like, I could have went to Hayes, I could have went to Spelman, I went to Xavier because it was like a different field. It was, I'll be honest with you, Xavier exposed me to the real world very quickly.
Facts.
Very fucking quickly.
Facts.
If you went to, well, I'm not trying to shit on other high schools, but I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, yo, like, I cruised through my 4 years in college.
No doubt, bro.
Like, what? You telling me what? I could finesse the teacher? Yo,
I'm on graduation day. Like, y'all dead ass. This was it. This was college.
I was like, yo, bro, what? I was partying. I was like, yo, people easy, bro. Like, if people was to ask me my GPA all the time, I'm like, yo, I had a good GPA in college. Like, I did my thing. I partied. I did my entrepreneurship, and I also did my work. Like, I kept it pushing. Like, I did what I had to do. You get what I'm saying? But it got me ready. So I'll give Xavier their props on that one. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely exposed like, yo, be real, like what it means to be the one of, or three of black people. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a stack. Like, it definitely exposed, because you go into a reality, when people go to colleges and this is their first time interacting with white people.
Yo, the real world that I was exposed to, and like, you grew up in Manhattan, there's white people and stuff like that. We was white people in Xavier. Yeah. Like, we went to a white school, but then it's like, when you get to college, it's like, oh, this is how the rest of the world is.
Yeah.
We was living in a bubble.
Yeah.
Xavier definitely exposed me to a lot.
Yeah.
Hard work, discipline, how people gonna treat you. Them teachers was not easy, bro.
Yeah,
them kids was ruthless, relentless. The coaches, like,
ruthless.
You already know.
Yeah.
So by the time we get to college, it's like, all right, this is how it is. We know how to maneuver all of that.
Yeah.
What do you think Xavier instilled in you on like a deep level, like maybe spiritually, or something that really like formed you that you wouldn't have gotten elsewhere? Because there was definitely a different feel.
It's a different feel. I mean, I think the one thing I definitely say that Xavier still instilled in me is this is interesting, because I would have to sit down on this, and I still would have to say, I think it just heightened my grit, if that makes sense. Like, I was already a gritty kid, but it also heightened my grit to start learning different ways to finesse, if that makes sense. So, finessing in middle school is completely different than finessing in high school, but then was completely different in college. So combining your finessings of different things allowed you to then move on. And I always go back to this idea, I always go back to the idea of like ways that you could like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, there were some teachers that I loved to death, and I would reason with them. I'm like, yo, can you like bump me up a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, I used to ask them, yo, can you move me from, like, bro, I could not see in high school, I'll be honest with you. And in high school, I wore these white frame glasses. Everybody thought like they were party glasses and everything. I'm like, yo, these are prescribed glasses. Like, I remember that. I was like, people was trying to give me jug for that. I'm like, these are prescribed glasses. I just wanted to give it a little fashion look. You know what I mean? I had to. Like, what? You telling me I'm going to wear those old men glasses? Hell to the no. I had to put some style on it. That's why I wear these glasses all the time. But I had to put some swag on it. But it taught me how to finesse and get grit. So I remember one time, rest in peace, my boy Gibbons, for real. But I remember he came to me, he was like, yo, I have to give you jug for this. And I'm like, bro, these are prescribed glasses. You can't give me jug for prescribed glasses.
Because I'm too lit.
Because I'm too lit. I look good. I'm not wearing it in the building because I want to look lit. I'm wearing it because I need it. And he was like, damn, that's actually pretty facts. You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember I almost got jugged one time, and there was like, I was like, yo, I was late because of the train. And it was like, I don't care about the train. I'm like, word, look up mta.info.com. What you gonna say? You can't say I'm late because, like, there's a whole line of other kids that is also getting jugged too. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Again, like,
we gotta give a little bit of background. So jug is judgment under God. Even though Xavier used to say that's not what it meant to them.
It was detention.
You was getting judgment either way. We was walking around in a circle for an hour.
I definitely was judging people walking. I was like, you got here? I was like, damn.
But it's basically punishment by taking an hour of your time for an infraction that you could get for almost anything.
And I will say that also taught me about the value of time, because time is something that you can't get. I will say that is one lesson that I always say, because I would avoid trying to get jug as much as possible, but my jugs used to come in bulks, so it would become like I would never get one jug. I would get them in 10s and 20s. So I'm like, yo, I gotta get like, and it taught, like, I'm not gonna lie, jug has also taught me how to manage my credit card.
Management, bro.
Time management has also taught me how to manage my credit card. You know what I mean? So I'll show the correlation here. So like, jug would be like, you do one jug. You could either double up that day.
Facts.
You could do a morning and an afternoon shift, Or you could do basically like, you know, those jug projects that they would do. You get what I'm saying? Them jug projects. So for me, I'm always finessing to be like, yo, how can we knock this down as much as possible? If you was an athlete, you're not making those afternoon joints.
And then you don't want to make the morning ones because you got a long night ahead.
You have a long night. So what, you know, I would try to finesse. I'd be like, yo, anybody, what about open house? Like, I remember I created my own jug project one time. I said, yo, does the cleaner need help with something? Like, yo, I used to talk to the janitors. I'm like, yo, I'll clean the building. Yo, just take off 2 jugs. You want me to clean? Yo, and I started really becoming a really good negotiator. But like, I'm like, yo, like, we have to, I was like, yo, I gotta figure out a way to take, because it's a waste of my time. And I will say that that's one thing I could say that I took away from it, is like learning how to value my time and learning how to double down on certain things. So like, but again, time, like, back to this credit card analogy, is like, yo, like if you have certain debt of 10, you gotta start, you can't just pay the minimum, you gotta double up so you can get that shit down quickly. So that's why I kind of think of the jug with credit card type of things, you know what I mean? So shout out to them.
What about you had to do like one a day at least. Was that the rule?
Yeah, you have to do one a day.
Yeah, and I remember I had to do them in the morning because we had practice after school.
Yep.
So you would have to be there at what, like 7 o'clock, 6:30, whatever.
7:30, yeah, 7:30, and you walk until you had to go do. And it's worse because I'll be honest with you, like the mornings would be, I might get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, you know, with a little mango juice in Arizona. Like, what are you talking about? So again, like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, there were times I didn't even eat breakfast on jug. Like, I'm like literally, don't get it twisted. I did finesse though. I used to have my little snacks in my pocket.
Bro, that's what I used to get jug for sometimes, like snacking in class or in the hallway.
Bro, you just gotta finesse it the other way. I used to have that shit in the back pocket and be like, I'm like, word, what you doing there? And then I always do this. Yeah. Word.
Nah, they used to be calling me in class. I'm like, I spit the food in my hand.
Yeah,
bro. They're like, what you got in your hand? I'm like, oh shit. They're like, go to the office. I'm like, oh hell no.
You know, my favorite thing was, I'm going to the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, bro, put in like granola, munching down, and then, shout out to my guidance counselor, Ms. V, but I used to leave some of my snacks in Ms. V's office, get a snack, and I'm like, I just need to come get a snack and then go do what I have to do. If you really good, bro, remember, your bathroom break is about 5 minutes if you do it right.
Right.
If you do it right. They can't ask you what you was doing in the bathroom.
They're gonna get suspect after like 6 minutes.
After 6 minutes, you got a 5-minute window. So if you was in like the C building or D building, you run down to the cafeteria, you might chop it up with your friends, get a little snack. You like, oh shoot, I'm still up on time. Come back and be like, what took you so long?
Was the water deep or cold?
Was the water deep or cold? And I'm like, I mean, I can't tell you because my stomach was bubbling. My stomach was bubbling. But good times though, great times. And then CUSE was definitely the outlet for me to like, get into this entrepreneurial stuff. Like I came out, was doing radio. I was supposed to, I wanted to be a sports analytic guy. So I was, trying to be the Stephen A. Smith type of guy. Did not work out the way it was supposed to, and it ended up coming full circle towards the end. But I had a radio show, and my biggest thing is just like bridging the gap for creatives. I had artists come through. I used to do this thing called Freestyle Fridays, from 106 and Park. Try to flip that. People would come do freestyles. Then I had a live guitar band in there. It was pretty good times and shit like that. So it was, the journey has been great, and who I am today, it's completely different than I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm always changing. I'm always evolving the brand and trying to figure out a way to communicate who I am and what I do. So
I think that's really the key here, bro, because what we have is like a shared understanding of background, the discipline that was instilled in us, even a lot of the spiritual religious aspects. It's like that makes sense to us, but to other people you have to really explain it. And how can you explain that really cohesively? Like how can you make it straightforward about what you're about?
But I can't explain it. And I'll be honest with you, I just invite people to the journey because at the end of the day, I can't necessarily explain my journey because it's always changing. Like, I'll be honest with you, and as I've gotten older, I start to realize how people's lives change, and it doesn't matter your age. Like, I'm 27, and I tell people, like, I've emceed, in Asia, I've emceed in, London, and they like, I've never got a chance to do that. And I'm just like, word. Word, and I can't say nothing about it, but they haven't had the chance to do it. And you see how beautiful that you take your chances on. You just gotta keep, I don't want to say keep keeping, that sounds cliche to say, but you gotta really take on your shoulders and say, like, this journey that I'm on, it's a very much, transformative thing, and I transform it every day. And again, whether it's installed through, religion, whether it's installed through, family ties, whether it's installed through reading a lot of different books. Like The Alchemist is such a great book to read that talks about this journey and trying to find certain things. I love that book to death.
That was that summer reading.
That's that summer reading, bro. It's a great book. I love that book. But there's other books like How I Sold My Ferrari, which talks about this lawyer, and basically he became a monk and shit. Like he basically was making a lot of money and he sold it and basically became like this whole monk. It's a crazy story. I gotta figure out the name of it. It's like something about how I sold my Ferrari. But it's a really good book. But again, this discipline of changing yourself even when things are at a consistent. So I think that's a big thing.
How do you do that? How do you change yourself and take risks? And what does that look like for you to do that?
Oh man, taking risk. I mean, I'm a gambler. Right? I'll say this every day. Like my mom goes to the casino every other week. And shout out to my mom, because shout out to my family, because they've actually taught me to gamble a lot more, actually. I was a very much Mr. Krabs type of guy. Like, I'm like, I like my money. Like, but I like my money. Like just $5. What you mean it's $5? Like, I'm gonna go to the corner store and get it for $4.99. What you mean? And I'm a talking to, so I try to negotiate the price. But for me, over the years, I was like, yo, why can't I take a risk? And people never tell you that scared money don't make no money, and I used to be scared of money because, again, like parents just came, from Haiti, and they're like, they always like, you gotta save, you gotta save, you gotta save, you gotta save, you gotta save. But what about living in the now? What about an opportunity for you to put down $1,000 to go, travel and do something that you never done before? You don't know if you're gonna be able to live the next day. Do it. Motherfucker, do it. Like, what's holding you back? What's holding you back is generally a lot of the times the future that's not there. I'm like, I don't know what the future's hold. I don't know if I'm gonna have a family. I don't know about all this. I don't even know if the economy's gonna be around during that time.
The money might not even be worth nothing.
Even worth nothing. So what are we talking about? And again, what are we talking about of trying to genuinely save the moment? No, we gotta live the moment. Fuck saving the moment.
Facts,
live
bro.
the moment. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
That's
like,
real.
Live the moment. And that type of reality came to me when I was in London the second time. After the second time, and I was just like, yo, like, I didn't have no money. Like, I generally was on my credit card. I was like, yo, boom, boom, boom. But I was in there and I'm like, yo, bro, like, dog, like this, I need to take a little bit more risk. I might be onto something right now. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the emceeing, bro. I was a teacher, and basically after the teaching, it's hard to be a teacher. I will say that. I'll give shout out to all the teachers out here. It's hard to be a teacher. It's fucking hard. Like, especially in this age, it's hard to be a teacher. So big up to my teachers, my social workers, all them people. Shout out to all of them, like gangster shit. But I don't know why I said gangster shit about the teachers. I don't know why I said that, but yo, shout outs to them. But they're always in the field. Like, they're always in the field. Now, after I kind of left that part of my journey, I was just like, yo, like, what the fuck can I do with public speaking? You know what I mean? I started emceeing, started doing here, Was that
scary at first?
Yo, 100%, bro, because I didn't know what the fuck this shit was. Bro, I was out for work for a calm 7 months.
Around what time was this?
This was like 2022. I was out of work, bro. I just I was just teaching, and then I was like, yo, damn this. They let me go, which I was happy, honest to God, because I couldn't do it anymore. They let me go.
Where was you teaching at?
I was teaching at my old high school, my old elementary school. They let me go. I was like, yo, bet. There was some issue. They let me go. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was planning on quitting within month 2. I couldn't do it, bro.
Wow.
Mentally, I wasn't there, bro. I lost 15 pounds. Like, I wasn't good. And my mom told me either A, they're gonna let you go, or B, you're gonna finish your term. I was like, bet. I mean, A or B. One of them happened, and A happened. Yo, bro, I could not be in the happiest moment. That next day that I got let go, I swear to you, bro, I got 12 hours of sleep. It was amazing. I went for a run. I was in the park, whatever. But it was scary because that consistency of of a check,
that comfort,
that
bro.
comfort, and I'm just like, yo, I can't go back to shit like this, like that comfort, because I don't know at any given time. Like, look at how many people are getting laid off of their jobs now. Like, I got to build for myself, and I've been trying to do it for years, but I couldn't figure out the code. I started emceeing, and I was getting paid like $150 for 2 hours. I'm like, what? then I'm like, yo, how can we get more into this stuff? Like I want to make easy money, but not exert too much of my energy and my time. Then I started emceeing Wizard Fest. Then I started doing private events. Then I and then I'm like at this point where I'm like, yo, I can generally I can make $3,000 off of MC now. It took me 3 years but if I didn't take that risk, shit, what are we talking about?
Being in either the same position with the same level of unhappiness, or you would be out without having built anything.
Shit, I'll take the out and not building anything. And now these days, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, yo, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, yo, like, I'm building something for myself right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times, it's hard to build for yourself because people want the immediate gratification right now. I'm actually loving this journey because every fucking year it gets better and fucking better. Like every year, like I literally went to a wedding in Thailand. Shout outs to Jack, shout outs to JC, shout outs to my brother and my family. But literally the MC wasn't there. I MC'd the wedding. The couple saw me do the damn shit and they flew me out twice in 2024. Gangsta. I was like, yo, I'll do this every time. And they're a great family. Like, I love them. Amazing, great time, great energy. But if I didn't take that risk, and also if people didn't believe in the risk, shit, what are we talking about? We wouldn't be talking about that. Bro, I'm looking at my schedule now, bro. I'm booked every fucking weekend in the fall. I'm okay.
You had said that next 3 to 4 months is about to be something different.
It's about to be wild, bro. I'm booked and busy because I took a risk on myself in 2022. And yeah, it cost me. I'm still paying back that risk, meaning like I'm paying back in credit cards. But I took that risk, but it's created a sustainability for myself where I'm like, okay, I got something stable. Oh, now we got to just backtrack in the past, but I'm stable. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I got to do is like float a little bit and we okay.
Sounds like you at peace.
I'm at peace. And that's something that a lot of people are not at peace with. Like, people are not at peace with certain things because it's just like they haven't really understood themselves. Yo, I'm really at peace with everything. The only thing I'm not at peace is like paying back all those credit cards back in the days. But I'm genuinely at peace. Like, I'm doing genuinely the things that I can do. Like, I mean, you see it on Motel No-Tell. People laugh, people joke, people talking. Like, I like that. I like making people happy. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes even when I'm struggling, I like making people happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one needs to know about my struggles. Like, I got a therapist. I can go to I could schedule an appointment with her on Thursdays at 5 p.m. I'm Gucci. I'm not here to talk about my problems on fucking Instagram. To all the people that does that shit, get a life. Get a life. Deadass, get a fucking life. But I say this to say, like, I'm really at peace with my career as an MC, as an event curator. Now, these days, I'm being more strategic now. I'm being very, very much strategic now. So, but take that risk, yo, because you may never know, like, that risk might be building something for you in the near future.
When you look towards the future and, maybe even the far future, what's something that you envision for yourself? Let's go further than 5-10 years.
Yeah.
What do you want what you're building now to accomplish for you or for others?
Man, I would love to have my own entertainment agency. That is the damn near goal, where it's one half of it's basically working with hosts and they're getting bookings to MC the events that I usually used to do. Maybe it's a roster of athletes and brands are trying to work with artists, athletes, and the host. You know what I mean? Like, I want to produce a show at the end of the day. That's what I envision at the end of the day, being in this more executive role, because it's like, yo, I've heightened a lot of executives and I've tried to basically be a part, and now I'm drawing the line now. I'm drawing the line between, I'm not gonna make an executive be an executive when I'm already the executive. You know what I'm saying? So in the near future, I do see myself being an executive to maybe producing shows or producing events. You get what I'm saying?
Just calling the shots.
Calling the shots. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I try to call shots for people. And the problem is when people are like, I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, I do. And I'm like, yo, you could be missing certain things because you're so stuck in your fucking ways, right? There's certain things like, I'm like, yo, like, you're missing on things because you're like, yeah, the nightlife. Yeah, you got to get 100 people in the club and all this. Fuck the club bullshit, yo. People are having these day parties and having a great time. Like, you have clubs that are trying to double up and trying to do like a 4 to 9 at their club and then a 9 to 2 o'clock at their club because they're struggling. Wake the fuck up. Clubs are not making as much money as they used to, bro. In this day and age, like, yo, if you was an athlete back then to an athlete now, right, in high school, yo, things are changing. Even from an educational standpoint, like, there are a lot of athletes that need to know how to brand themselves in order to get to college. Yep. People are giving a shit ton of money to athletes before they get into college. How does that work?
They don't know how to manage it. They don't really know who to go to.
They don't know who to go to. Like, that's, I want to be able to develop those athletes where it's like, yo, you got to be able to know how to shoot your own content. You've got to be able to know how to certain, like, media training. You've got to, like, I mean, I think Fabrice was doing some shit like that, right? But you've got to put these athletes in pocket because things are changing. If you're not listening to the streets, if you're not listening to the kids, like, then you're gonna be left behind, bro. You're gonna be left behind. Like, a lot of journalists are still in this era, and again, I'm not, no shot to these journalists, but you're still stuck in this way of like, yo, let's do fucking, you know, like, and again, studio podcasts, which is dope. But you have someone like Kai Cenat, Godspeed, and all those kids. They're doing podcasts, live streaming on the streets. Why are kids gravitating to that?
Because it's more real and it's more like,
it's more real.
You get to
see the shit. Like, I mean, when Kai Cenat didn't know who the fuck Wale was, that's a real situation. Now, that's a real situation. Like, I'm like, damn, bro. You, like, I get it. You 20, but you don't know Wale. Damn, dog. Like, what do you listen to? You know? But that's my old head in my sense. But when people are telling you these new ideas that they're trying to put you on to, like, yo, like, what you editing? Word, bro. Yo, you should use Opus. That's a great way to do it. It's a great way to use it. If you want to use a video editor, go do it. But it's about, like, yo, opening yourself to understanding the ecosystem and allowing people to tell you, yo, you should look at this. Maybe you should. Now, you don't got to take the advice, but I'm just tired of generally giving people newer ideas. And they're just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna talk. I should just run with my own ideas.
Exactly.
And just keep it pushing. Because you're gonna see how it's gonna work. You're gonna see how it's gonna work.
It seems like these days, if you want to do something, you can't really listen to nobody. You can collaborate, but it's like, you got to do it yourself. If you build it, they will come.
You got to do it your damn self, bro. You got to do it your damn self. And with the moves that's happening these next couple of months, it's about to be wild. It's generally about to be wild. It's about to be wild. I have a great feeling. It's, you know, it's gonna be something that hasn't been seen before. So I definitely feel that way.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. Obas, this was really great, bro.
Yeah,
I love for you to be able to show yourself to this audience and to the world because they got to know you.
Yeah,
doing
man.
Some great stuff, bro.
Yeah, nah, man. Listen, man. I'll tell people this straight up. The things to be looking out for is definitely, I like I said, we just locked in a distribution for a TV series that's coming out on Roku TV in September. Industry, 5 episodes on just like the state of the industry. So play this character where, you know, he switches between loving the industry. He's full of love, and now he's full of like, oh yeah, motherfuckers got me fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm at that point. In terms of events, like shit, we booked events all throughout the fall. That leads into this big show called The Variety Show, which I'm excited for, which is bringing back Def Jam and Living in Colors, where we have one comedian, one fucking poet, one fucking MC. I don't want to tell the guest just yet, but we have a guest that's from like an old hip hop group that he said that he's gonna come and do some pieces for us. He said he still got some bars, so he's gonna bring some bars up there. So that's gonna be done, and yeah, there's other stuff that's coming up, but those are the 2 main priorities right now.
That sounds awesome, bro. Where can people keep up with you?
You know, literally, it's my first name Anthony, last name Obas. I have nothing to hide, and if I don't want to post it, I'm not gonna post it. Like, if you want to know me, like, find me in Harlem. But you won't be able to find me in Harlem because guess what? I'd probably be outside the city. So travel with me, gangster. Word.
Obas, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Red. We appreciate you. Red and Black. Heard you.
No doubt.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Anthony Obas, your favorite MC, the one that always tells you that I don't have no C's, but I don't know what the fuck that means. Whatever. Either way, you're tuned into a beautiful episode, Red and Black, with me and my boy Red. Make sure to go get that on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, and all those good stuff. So holla at me.